Joshua Harris with Frankly Cigars. We're here with Izzy from Drew Estates. Izzy, tell us a little bit about what you do for Drew Estate before we get into the questions.
Hi, thanks for having me
Oh, of
today.
course.
So, my position, hi everybody, I'm Drew Estate Izzy, and I am the lifestyle ambassador for Drew Estate Cigars.
So, what
So
does that
what
entail exactly?
so that entails a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a whole lot of everything.
Okay.
I most people know me from hosting Freestyle Live. For those that have attended our Barn Smokers, they've seen me on the front stage doing that, welcoming people into the shows. Across the country and across the world, I also demonstrate and do classes in terms of cigar pairings. I am a bourbon steward, so a lot of my knowledge um, kind of focuses on bourbon, but I also step outside that realm as well and do a lot of pairings, cocktails, things of that nature.
Okay, I feel dramatically overwhelmed right now and undereducated as far as conducting the rest of this interview, but we'll see how it goes because
You're doing great. Don't
all I
do
have to
that.
do, all I have to do is proctor so far, and I've just introduced you properly, and we practiced that
Look,
earlier. So
it's great to be, look, this time it's great for me to be interviewed instead of me normally doing the interviewing. So this
well,
is fantastic for me today.
like I called folksy earlier in an internet review, and I was kind of like, I wonder how I
Hmm,
feel about folksy. Like
I
I
like
don't.
folksy. That's okay. I'm a country girl too, so I like
Okay,
folksy. I
okay.
appreciate that.
So when did you smoke your first cigar?
My first cigar was in 2013.
Okay.
2013. Yeah, I
Do
was
you remember
living
what
in,
it was?
oh yeah, I was living in Chicago and
Oh, we lost your audio. No, it's not any better. I don't know what happened. Hmm. Let's see.
hello.
No.
There
Oh,
we
there you
go.
are. Okay. Well,
Okay, I can hear me.
maybe,
All right, there we
we,
go. I think we're
maybe the
good to go.
NFL was upset about you talking about Chicago because the Bears were cheated this
I
year, which is my
guess. I don't
team,
know.
and I feel like
Wait a
you
minute.
know,
Who's your team?
oh, Chicago Bears. Yeah,
Oh, yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm a
Okay.
big and I have progression. We're gonna dive off for just a second because it's the Bears and it's my channel. But I called him 18, and then I
Yes.
called him Caleb when he did a little bit better, and then I called him my quarterback. And now I just yell at the TV whenever he has the ball.
Heartache all year,
Yeah.
blood pressure, all those things happened this year. We had a great season, so I did not know that. So now I know. Future Bear, the Bears. There we
And it's
go. Bear
funny. It's
down.
funny too because when I met my wife, she says, "Well, how do I know you'll commit?" I said, "Babe, I'm a Cubs fan." So
See,
if
I'm White
anybody,
Sox.
well, that's fine. You're entitled to
Okay.
be wrong about one or two things. It's not a big deal.
Oh, okay. I see it now. I see it now.
No, but the Bears were a big deal in my life because my dad was a Redskin fan because we're locally in Washington D.C.
Okay.
And even though I grew up in Maryland, and so he hated the '85 Bears, and that made me love them because anything that my
Ah,
dad didn't like at that point in my life, I was like, "Oh, I got to do this."
of
And then
course.
the audacious orange and blue and everything else, and it just kind of grew from there. But let
Of
me
course.
digress. So your first cigar in Chicago, 2013. What was it?
Yes. It was a Gurkha.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
some I went to this event. A friend of mine invited me out to do a smoke out, and he said, "Hey, come with me." And I went, and the gentleman offered me a cigar, and it was a Gurkha. And I've been smoking hookah, and yeah, that was my first cigar.
It's interesting the transition from smoking like cigarettes or smoking hookah to smoking
Yeah,
cigars because it is a completely different animal.
yeah. Like I
I
never
never.
smoked cigarettes. I never
Okay.
did
No, no,
smoke cigarettes.
I didn't excuse you
No,
for
no, no, no,
smoking
no. You're good. I
cigarettes.
did try with the what's the little beaties in college. I tried
Oh yeah.
those, those little clovey, but hookah was fun. But cigars just it kind of stuck around. As we can see now, it's still here. So
Do you have a favorite drink to pair with your cigar?
well, of course, bourbon, but if I'm not, but here's the thing, and that's one of the things that I try to really educate people on. Cigars can be paired from champagne to bourbon. Like you can have, or I shouldn't even say champagne, you can go from club soda all the way up to bourbon.
Yeah.
It depends on the cigar, it depends on the mood. Predominantly, yeah. Most of the time, majority wise, yeah, I always use bourbon.
We interviewed Ricky Rodriguez from West Tampa,
Oh,
and he said
yeah.
that his pairing was Bud Light,
See,
and it was because Bud Light didn't have a taste, and then he could, consider
refresh his palate.
and consider on the cigar and have that cigar. And he
Yeah.
taught me to go ahead and like chew on the tobacco.
Yeah.
Like you have the smoke in your mouth and you chew on the smoke, and that gets
Yes.
you more accurate pairing. When I worked at the shop setting, I would have people move their tongue up, and then it would caress the outside of their palate that normally that doesn't have anything touch it. So it was a very interesting experience to be like, now put your tongue up. People are like, what are you talking about?
So when I teach people how to retrohale, I tell them that I'm like, bite the back of your teeth, bite your back
Yeah,
teeth, and then press your tongue up to the roof of your mouth, and that's how you
yeah.
retrohale. So people are like, oh, that's how you do it. I'm like, yeah, that's how you do it.
Well, and everybody
Um,
thinks that everybody knows everything in cigars. They think that once you have a cigar in your hand, that you must know all how to hold it and
no,
where to put it out and everything else,
no,
and the whole thing. So, is
no.
that your what's your best advice to a new smoker if you're in the educational?
You know what? Smoke what you like. Do not let someone intimidate you into not smoking something or try to convince you not to smoke something. We all take our paths very different. If you like infused, smoke infused. If you like full body, smoke full body. But do not ever attempt to let someone persuade you into not smoking something.
I almost pair it to like being in a restaurant. If you come into the restaurant and you love a burger and it's a steakhouse, then get the burger
Then get
because
the burger.
people always say, well, it's a steakhouse. You can't have a burger. Actually, you'll find out that I can.
Mhm.
You'll find out that I'm paying for the food. So,
Yes, I can have whatever I like because guess what? I paid for it.
and I used to tell people all the time when they would come into the shop, well, so and so said that I should buy this. Are they paying for it? Because it's your money, it's your disposable income at this point. And
Exactly.
now here's a question I have for you. You're in the edutainment section of Drew Estates. What
Hmm.
is the unwritten cigar rule violation that you don't like? What's the one thing that you see in shops or see at events and you just kind of cringe and it like a little skin crawl?
I think it goes back to the first question is when someone tries to persuade someone else what not to smoke. It's like, I don't like that. I just don't. You shouldn't smoke that. How are you going to tell somebody what not to smoke? And I understand what they're trying to do, but to tell someone you shouldn't smoke that or that's not a real cigar. Of course, I work for Drew Estate and I see all of our and I real smokers. I'm putting the quotation marks. Don't smoke infused. Don't smoke. And I'm like, why? Like, do you realize how many new smokers started with an infused cigar? Like you're cutting off a whole demographic of someone or a whole group of people. That's my total pet peeve is when I see that. I don't like that.
And it's usually uninformed as well. Like it's usually, because the same process, in fact, the deeper process goes into infusation than it does into the hand rolling of the cigar.
Exactly.
Because you have the hand
Exactly.
rolling and then you have the infusation after that. So it's a whole other
Yes.
process that
And I'm
most
like,
cigars don't go into.
these are real cigars. I promise you, they are real cigars. And yeah. So I just don't like that.
So what was the moment that you felt like a real cigar smoker? What was the moment where you were like, okay, this is it. I can really do this.
When someone asks me my opinion,
Oh,
yeah, because
okay.
again, you're new, so no one's going to ask you, right?
Right.
And then I never forget, I was in a lounge and I had all my equipment and I'm sitting there smoking. And this gentleman came up and said, hey, would you recommend this or this? And I was
Oh,
like, whoa.
fooled,
It's kind of like I've seen you in
fooled
here
another one.
several. Yeah, it's like, hey, like I've seen you in here several times, and I see you sitting with different people. So, what would you recommend? I'm like, oh, buddy, I made it. I made it. I made it.
That's outstanding. Well, you smoke a lot more than most people do. So what was the last cigar that surprised you? What was the last cigar that you just had to sit down and kind of go, okay, all right,
Actually, that occurred this week. We were doing some test blends here. I can't
okay.
mention anything, but the wrapper binder filler, I didn't think I would like it for my palate, but I did. It really surprised me. That's all I can really say until later. But yeah, it was like, whoa, because sometimes in your head you'll say something like, "Oh, I don't like uh, I'll say a shade wrapper, like, oh, I don't like and then you smoke something and you're like, wait, what? Like, or I don't like that type of binder. It's really, wrapper is probably the wrong thing, but especially binders. I feel like sometimes we put in our head what we don't like. And
Mhm.
depending upon the blend of the cigar, you may go, oh, I do like this. So, yeah, kind of surprised me.
Well, that was my blueberry story. Like I'd be in the shop and I tell people, well, do you like blueberries? Well, yeah, but do you like blueberry pie? Not so much. But you want blueberries in your cereal. So then maybe you
Yes,
want it in a smaller amount that you don't have it. Maybe we can have a
exactly.
discussion, Izzy, on the 17th of April about what blend you were smoking.
Oh.
Maybe on the 17th of April, we could sit down in a city to the south and have a discussion
Are you
about what
talking
you.
about this little city, and today is Fat Tuesday?
Oh,
Are
yeah,
you talking
it
about
is.
that city?
I
That
mean,
city,
maybe,
it's
maybe,
known for it's
maybe,
so
maybe it's maybe it's breaking news that I got my media credentials. I mean,
That city? Are you talking about this city?
that little one right
That
there.
city?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yo, oh, you
Okay.
brought props. Okay, all
Oh
right.
no, today is Fat Tuesday, so
I
I'm
know.
ready. I'm ready today.
What's your favorite cigar now, and what would be your favorite cigar ever? And are they the same?
So that question, I think for me, the one I smoked the most, Herrera Esteli Habano. Most of the Drew Estate team, staff, employees, you're gonna somebody in this building, someone across the nation right now is likely smoking a Herrera Esteli Habano. You're doing a Brazilian,
Yep.
but yeah, so that's my always go to. My favorite cigar ever is Hoya de Nicaragua, the Cinco de Cadas. I love that
Really?
cigar. I just love that cigar. To me, that is it's creamy, it's elegant, it's structured. I love that cigar. But
See,
then
I love the dark Antonio. That dark Antonio is
oh, with
incredible.
the cocoa, oh my
Oh
God, the
yeah,
cocoa
yeah.
nib in there. Yes,
But
that's also
so many people
delicious.
look at that and they're just so put off by that gold and black wrapper and then the darkness of that, the hue of
But
that
it's
wrapper, and it's
so
like
yummy.
I don't know.
Mm-mm.
And I'm like, just try it, please, just
Just
try it.
try
Just
it
straight cut it
and
and just try it.
yes, it will
It'll be
change your
incredible.
mind every day, all day.
Is there an accessory that you can't live without?
My accessory that I cannot live without is definitely my keychain cutter. So,
Really?
and this is why it's hopefully TSA is not watching this. So it fits on my keychain and no one ever knows it's a cutter. So I can always have this with me and I don't have to share someone else's cutter. I always have it because I always have my keys, right? So I always have my keychain cutter.
So I brought an accessory just to kind of wow you. I have one of these. It's
Oh,
a cigar
wow.
rest, but if you look at the year on it, this is
I was
for
going to say,
the
what year is that?
that's the 2020. That's the one that
Okay.
didn't happen because of COVID. So it's just
Yep. That's the
little challenge
keepsake.
point. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's the
And somebody
keepsake.
and a rep who I won't mention was like, "Oh, would you like one of these?" And I saw the year on it. And I was like, "I'll take this one because that one didn't actually occur in New
There you
Orleans.
go.
It was
There you
all
go.
scheduled and had to be there." So, 2013 to now, have you ever met anybody in the cigar industry who you've been epically impressed by? I mean, you've worked with Willie Herrera. You work with the people from Florida, Nicaragua, Jonathan Drew. Is there somebody within the company or somebody outside of the company in the cigar world that you were epically impressed
It's been so many, and not just it's just over the years. Like, of course, I get to work with Jonathan Drew, right? Like this powerhouse, this titan of the industry. I get to work with Willie. Just over the years, just meeting all these different people. I call them titans. It's so
with?
many. I can't just go. That's the one. Um, I think the one that I always remember, the founder of Casada. I met him when I was a consumer.
Oh wow,
Okay, so
yeah,
this is like 20, this had to be 2014. I never forget, he told me, he said, you should, because at the time I was in education. So I'm just smoking, going to events, and he had an event at a shop in Chicago, Up Down Cigars. And we were just standing there talking one night. He was like, you should go into the cigar industry. He's like, you got this personality. I see you can talk to anybody. I was
wow.
like, oh, whatever, like, whatever. So, and I never got the chance to go back up and see him and meet him again and go, I don't know if you remember this story, but one night in Chicago at Up Down Cigar, you told me this. And here I am today. So that's the one story that always just sticks in my head. But it's been so many. Like I could like it's been so many people I've met, throughout the industry, and not just manufacturers or, leaders per se. My first box of cigars I bought from a woman. She was working at Iron Reese in Chicago, Kim Chelos, and she doesn't know how much of an impact that had on me. Like she
Yeah.
sold me my very first box of cigars, right? And just to, build those relationships over the years and meet these people, yeah, it's been great.
And so that would be the origin story for you. That it's
Yeah.
2013, and it's the first box, and that's great.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Do you have a question you wanted to ask me?
So for me, it's like, I guess the opposite. Have you met the hero that you wish you never met before?
I
You know
don't
how they
think
say sometimes don't meet your heroes?
I don't think so. I was thinking about that actually when you were talking about the people that you had met and the overwhelming deluge of people that you meet at the trade shows is incredible to me. And the fact that you get to sit down, I sat down with Avo and I
Yeah.
sat down with Avo at the piano when they had the big grand piano. And the first thing he tells me is don't trust the Swiss. And I thought that was odd
Ah.
because he was working, being distributed by a Swiss company in Davidoff at that
Hmm.
time. And he was like, no, 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 and handed me his card that had his cell phone number on it and his fax number and everything else. And I just remember how he took the air out of the room the last time we were in New Orleans. And he got up and we were at a Davidoff Gold Band, and it
Hmm.
was the end of the night, and they had the Escurio launch, and he gets up, and the samba band is just playing, and he just starts kind of swaying, and then this lady gets up, and this guy gets up, and the whole room was just dancing, and the people were trying to clear the room, and it was just this overwhelming, like, yeah, this
This
is where
is
I'm supposed to be. This is.
this is where you're supposed to be.
I don't think that anybody. Let me think really quickly. I don't think that anybody has. So I don't go into it thinking, okay, this is a guy who does this. I think this is a regular guy who happens to be doing cigars, and that there are things that I do very well that he doesn't do very well. And
Okay,
so with
that's
that kind
fair.
of mindset, I'm kind of like still always overwhelmed at the amount. I said it in an earlier interview, but I need to learn so much more. I find out that I need to, everything that I learn, I'm like, okay, well, what about this? And where does that come from? And
It's a journey. You
yeah,
you're not
it
going to
really
learn
is.
everything. It's truly a journey. I learn something new every single day,
Yeah.
whether it's cigar related, whether it's bourbon and liquor related, just life in general. You learn every day, and when you quit learning, that's when you run into problems.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like the shark mentality. You got to keep swimming, or
that's right.
if you're stagnant, it's not going to go so well.
It's not going to go so well.
I really do appreciate you giving me this time today.
Oh,
I
thank you
really
so
feel like
much.
that you're moved onto my list of people that I was glad that I met in the cigar industry. I
I'm
appreciate
glad
you.
I met you too.
And like I said, I may see you again in April.
I hope so.
I
I
may see
mean,
I may
you
see you at
can't
the end of March if you're going to be somewhere out west at the end of March. I may see you
let's
then as
see,
well.
somewhere out west at the end of my,
Uh,
no, actually somewhere, let's see, where will I be in March? I think I'm in, I don't have my count. I think I'm on the East Coast in March.
okay, because
I think I'm on the East Coast.
on
Yeah.
the 31st of March, I'll be in Las Vegas.
I will not, no, I will not be in Vegas in March. Yes, I will be on the East Coast in
Oh,
March.
good. So you'll come out here, and I could potentially meet you
Yes.
in person, and I'll be on the other coast.
There you
Outstanding.
go. There we go.
Sounds.
We'll wave at each other through the air or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
hey.
I want you to be getting on the plane I'm getting off of. That was the
There
only
you
way to
go.
make it great. Well, thank you for your time. This has been Joshua Harris with Frankly Cigars with Drew Estate Izzy.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.